In the frozen heart of the Himalayas, there stands a massive and imposing challenge for brave adventurers from all over the world. Mount Everest, the ultimate symbol of human determination, has attracted countless individuals to its icy slopes, seeking glory and achievement. However, amidst its grandeur and allure, there exists a chilling truth, a history of serious accidents that have cast a shadow on this majestic peak. The deadly story behind the Mount Everest disaster of 2016. In the majestic realm of Mount Everest, two brave adventurers embarked on an extraordinary journey. Meet Maria Stridham, a spirited 34-year-old finance teacher from Melbourne, Australia, who passionately follows a vegan lifestyle and enjoys mountaineering. Her partner, Robert Gropel, a compassionate veterinarian, shares her love for veganism and thrill-seeking. Together, they set out on a mission to conquer Everest's legendary summit. Beyond their personal aspirations, Maria had a noble goal: to challenge misconceptions about vegans. With determination, she proclaimed, "People believe vegans are weak and unhealthy. By climbing the 7 summits, we aim to show that vegans can achieve anything and more." Fueled by confidence and resilience, the couple had already triumphed over 4 of the world's highest peaks: Kilimanjaro, Aconcagua, Denali, and Elbrus. In April 2016, they arrived in Nepal, full of courage for their audacious expedition. And who better to guide them than Arnold Koster, the renowned mountaineer, known for his successful Everest conquests. Maria and Robert chose the historic Southeast Ridge route, first conquered by the legendary duo Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay back in 1953. With their sights set high, our adventurous duo embarked on this challenging path, truly testing their strength and determination. Scaling this dangerous route involved passing through multiple camps, which were crucial for resting and getting used to the thin air. But let me tell you, the road ahead was full of challenges that could make even the bravest person feel scared. They faced icy falls, dangerous crevasses, unpredictable avalanches, and strong winds that could knock you down. But nothing could stop them as they moved forward fearlessly. On May 20th, 2016, a day that will be remembered forever. At an incredible height of 7,900 meters, they reached Camp 4, a significant milestone that amazed us all. But folks, the real test was yet to come: the Deathzone, above 8,000 meters, where the oxygen level becomes dangerously low. With extra oxygen and heavy gear on their backs, Maria and Robert continued their journey, guided by experienced Sherpa companions. They ventured into the darkness, passing landmarks like the South Summit, the balcony, and the infamous Hillary Step. They came closer and closer to their dream, with every part of their being longing for the summit. But as they approached the top, Maria's strength started to fade. Exhaustion and lack of energy made her stop just a small distance away from triumph. At first, Robert thought Maria was just tired from the tough climb, but soon, her condition became more serious. With a heavy heart, he asked if he could continue without her, making the tough decision to leave her behind and go for the summit alone. "I didn't want to leave her," Robert said. "We do everything together, and everything's more special that way." After reaching the summit, Robert hurried to meet Maria, who had already started descending. As she went down, it became clear that Maria's condition was getting worse. Their leader, Arnold Koster, explained that she was strong until the balcony, but had to turn back at the South Summit at 8 a.m. Maria's health deteriorated on the way down. Between the South Summit and the balcony, she had difficulty moving and lost her way. Her team worked tirelessly to bring her down safely. Finally, they reached the South Col, but a helicopter rescue was only possible from Camp 3. Throughout the night, Maria held on to hope, receiving medicine and oxygen to stabilize her for the descent ahead. Everyone looked forward to a new day filled with possibilities. But fate had different plans. As the sun rose, tragedy struck. Despite her brave efforts, Maria collapsed on the treacherous Geneva Spur, just 2 hours from camp. Robert tried his best to save her, but sadly, Maria passed away in his arms and it broke his heart. Sadly, he had to leave Maria's lifeless body behind and summon all his strength to continue on his own. When the sun rose on a new day, it revealed Robert, bearing the marks of his bravery. He had serious injuries, but hope appeared when a helicopter arrived to take him from Camp 2 to a hospital in Kathmandu. The seriousness of his condition was evident in the words of his father, Heinz, who described the challenging situation. They had to bring him down on a sled. High-altitude pulmonary edema had taken hold. They will fly him by helicopter to Kathmandu and probably onward to Singapore or Melbourne. After a challenging time, Robert's journey took a turn for the better when he was discharged from the hospital, with his parents, Heinz and Patricia, by his side in Nepal, providing support. With determination, Robert vowed to stay in Nepal until he could bring Maria back home. In Kathmandu, he held on to hope. Sherpas fearlessly climbed to the heights of Everest to retrieve Maria's body, persevering against all odds. With unwavering spirit, they safely brought her back to her family. Tragedy struck again during the Everest expedition when Eric Arnold, a climber from the Netherlands, successfully reached the summit but sadly passed away from exhaustion during the descent. Maria's mother received the heart-wrenching news on May 21, 2016. The deadly 2023 Mount Everest disaster revealed. In April, the most dangerous side of the mountain showed its power once again, leading to the loss of 3 brave Sherpas. The Khumbu Icefall, a hazardous area with moving ice and rock formations, demonstrated its dangerous nature once more. Huge blocks of ice hanging above, called seracs, served as chilling reminders of the risks below. Despite the lurking dangers, adventurers can't resist the pull of this icy abyss. They are fascinated by the stories of both triumph and tragedy associated with it. For those aiming to reach the summit from the south side, they must face the icefall as a necessary challenge on their daring journey. In preparation for their final ascent, they have to cross the icefall multiple times, getting used to the tough conditions and high altitude of the mountain. Acclimatization, a crucial process for mountaineers, becomes their lifeline. They must repeatedly climb to specific heights and stay at established camps to get used to the thinning oxygen and build their strength. However, this vital adjustment comes at a cost, spending extended periods on the dangerous slopes and repeatedly encountering risky areas like the icefall. After the tragic events of 2014, efforts were made to reduce the risks of the icefall. The route was strategically changed, moving it to a safer location away from known dangers. However, even with these precautions, the icefall remains a challenging obstacle that requires great caution and skilled navigation. Within the icefall, there are relatively safer areas, but climbers can't completely eliminate the risk of avalanches, no matter how careful they are. On April 12, 2023, in the darkness of the early morning, 3 experienced Sherpas, Lahakpa Rita Sherpa, Pimba Tenjing Sherpa, and Dachiri Sherpa, began their journey through the icefall. They wore headlamps to light their way and took advantage of the cool dawn temperatures to tackle the icy challenge of Mount Everest. These Sherpas were crucial members of a 25-person Nepalese team. Their mission was to set up ropes between Camp 2 at 6,400 meters and the magnificent summit of Mount Everest, which stands at a breathtaking 8,849 meters. Without these ropes at such high altitudes, reaching the peak of Everest would be nearly impossible. As they navigated through the dangerous icefall, time passed, and the sun started to illuminate the rugged terrain with a stunning glow. They reached the football field area at 5,700 meters, right in the heart of the icefall, a zone threatened by large ice blocks called seracs that hung perilously overhead. Around 9:30 a.m., distressing reports of an accident spread through the mountainside. Different accounts and unanswered questions created confusion, leaving everyone searching for clarity amid the uncertainty. In the wake of a devastating accident, Garrett Madison shared the scary events that happened in the dangerous Khumbu icefall. According to Madison's Sherpa team, who saw what happened, a hollow part of the glacier collapsed, causing a strong earthquake that made ice crumble all around. Soon after, a chilling video showed an avalanche caused by a collapsing serac on the west shoulder. It's not clear if this event directly caused the accident or happened afterward, but the video reminds us of the dangers high up on Everest's unforgiving heights. News of the tragedy spread quickly, and urgent rescue missions started on the ground. Brave search teams faced dangerous conditions while searching the icy landscape for the fallen climbers. Aerial efforts also joined the search, scanning the large area from above for any signs of hope. However, as the weather worsened and the risk of more avalanches increased, they had to make the heartbreaking decision to call off the rescue attempts. The dangers were too great and the chances of success were too slim, leaving the fate of the 3 climbers uncertain. The climbers probably fell into a deep crevasse, making rescue almost impossible and causing sorrow among fellow mountaineers and their loved ones. The Everest climb attracted brave people, including fearless Sherpas who set up ropes and brought excitement to the task, showing their determination and resolve. One of these brave people was Jonathan Sugarman, a retired doctor from Seattle. Even though he had stopped climbing in the past due to its dangers, his adventurous spirit was reignited when he turned 50 and went on a transformative journey to Kilimanjaro. There, he fell in love with climbing again. But the journey ahead was not easy. During an ascent of Cho Oyu, the world's 6th highest peak, Jonathan had to deal with the formidable challenge of altitude sickness. Jonathan's determination to conquer high altitudes knew no limits, and he was unwavering in his pursuit of this dream. Seeking guidance from Uphill Athlete, a fitness training company specializing in endurance for high elevations, Jonathan embraced rigorous training. In the years that followed, he successfully climbed Aconcagua in Argentina, Denali in Alaska, and Cotopaxi in Ecuador, each accomplishment bringing him closer to his ultimate goal, climbing Mount Everest in 2023. When the time finally came for his daring expedition, Jonathan embarked on a sacred journey to the revered mountain. Teaming up with the prestigious international mountain guides from Washington, the team understood the importance of acclimatization and devoted a month and a half to adapting to the challenging conditions. Every moment spent acclimating raised Jonathan's hopes of achieving his dream. They patiently waited for the right weather in late May or June to begin their epic climb. In the frosty wilderness of Everest, Jonathan stood tall as an experienced climber, forming unbreakable bonds with his guides and the Sherpas over 3 remarkable years of climbing. He brought joy to the base camp with his lively and outgoing personality, playing a plastic trumpet and lifting the spirits of fellow climbers. Eager to conquer the Himalayan challenge, the team wasted no time in getting familiar with the rugged terrain, acclimating themselves to nearby peaks. However, the allure of Everest was irresistible. In late April, they embarked on an early morning journey through the perilous Khumbu icefall, which had tragically claimed the lives of 3 Sherpas just weeks before. Undeterred by the risks, they pushed forward, aiming to reach Camp 2 and then Camp 3 before descending back to base camp. This was a routine acclimatization trip, a well-known path on Everest. But fate had other plans. Tragedy struck Jonathan around 21,300 feet. A severe sickness caused by the unforgiving altitude quickly took hold of him. While his battle during the climb to Camp 2 remains mysterious, the relentless force of altitude sickness overwhelmed him. On May 1st, 2023, Jonathan passed away, leaving a void in the hearts of all who knew him. The beautiful woman who died a terrible death on Everest meets Shreya, the bold climber from Toronto, who dared to chase her dream of conquering Mount Everest. On May 19, 2012, her dream came true as she joyously stood atop the snowy summit. But amidst her triumph, a heart-wrenching tragedy unfolded, claiming Shreya's life and those of 4 other climbers. Shreya made remarkable progress, climbing 1,000 meters in just 18 hours. But challenges emerged during her descent. She was determined to reach her ultimate goal and found herself among a group of climbers leaving Camp 4, the last crucial stop before the tough climb to the summit. What she saw was both amazing and daunting. A long line of climbers and guides snaking their way up the steep mountainside. More than 500 people formed a massive group, moving slowly through the night and into the morning. They took frequent breaks because at 8,000 meters, in the perilous Deathzone, the thin air made even using bottled oxygen incredibly slow. As Shreya descended, she began to feel tired and showed signs of altitude sickness, which the Sherpas noticed. This serious condition had already claimed the lives of other climbers, like Won Bin from South Korea and Eberhard Schaft, a 61-year-old German doctor. Originally from the lively city of Mumbai, India, Shreya's journey to Canada, along with her husband, marked a new chapter in her life. They started an import company called SOS Splash of Style Inc. However, Shreya's interests went beyond business as she actively participated in social and political activities. Her dedication to the Conservative Party of Canada earned her a significant role as secretary on the board of directors for the party's Toronto Davenport Riding Association. In the heart of Canada, Shreya's beliefs grew stronger each day. Amidst the busy life, her unwavering dream of conquering Mount Everest remained. Motivated by a strong desire to make a meaningful contribution for her country, she set her sights on the summit, unaware of the tragic turn that lay ahead. Shreya's dream of conquering Everest began when she was just 9 years old, during a helicopter ride to the peak. That one flight ignited a strong desire within her, and her dream never faded. Even though she didn't have much experience climbing such tall mountains, her godfather, Bikram Lamba, estimated that she spent an astonishing $100,000 to fund her expedition, even mortgaging her home to pursue her cherished goal. To prepare for the tough journey, Shreya committed to intense training. She tirelessly climbed up and down the hills near her home, carrying a heavy 20-kilogram bag. Her training plan, carefully designed by her Nepalese team, included a mix of karate, rock climbing, and aerobic exercises. Despite her hard work, doubts arose as she struggled to keep up with her preparation. Some warned her that she might not succeed, but Shreya remained determined. In an interview, her husband revealed that Shreya kept her thoughts and fears to herself, not wanting to burden him with worries. He was surprised when she decided to embark on such a risky journey. The climber's story took an unexpected turn, with challenges unlike any she had faced before. Shreya and her partner struggled for 2 difficult hours to free themselves from treacherous snow, waiting for their turn to complete the final part of their ascent. But ahead lay uncertainty and difficulties, foreshadowing the tragic outcome that awaited Shreya and her fellow climbers. As the day went on, Shreya and her climbing crew encountered Fakuri at the south summit. The hour was late, and descending in the afternoon brought danger as strong winds and storms threatened the mountain. The trekking company's manager, Takori, tried to persuade Shreya to turn back, sensing her fading energy. However, her determination burned strong and she persisted, even though she was the slowest in the group. She was driven by an unwavering resolve to reach the summit. Eventually, Shreya had to rely on the Sherpa's expertise to guide her down the hazardous slopes. When adventurers join Utmost Adventures quests, they must follow the guide's advice as per the contract. However, at an astounding height of 8,700 meters, enforcing these rules becomes extremely challenging. Thakuri, the manager, honestly admitted, "We can't bring her down if she doesn't listen." Tragically, Shreya wasn't the only one who ignored caution. A Swiss man and a 16-year-old Nepalese girl also chose to keep going, sealing their fate in the process. Reports reveal they had enough oxygen to reach the summit, but not enough for a safe return to the main camp. Despite knowing the risks, they still continued. On the way back to camp, these 4 brave individuals tragically lost their lives. In contrast, Thakuri succeeded in persuading 3 other clients from Slovakia, who were climbing without extra oxygen, to turn back. Being exposed to high altitudes for too long, combined with their weight and poor blood circulation, made them susceptible to the deadly danger of frostbite. Shortly after 3 p.m., joy filled the air as guides Timber Sherpa and Dawi Dendi Sherpa reached the base camp with exciting news. The expedition successfully conquered the summit and began their descent. Shreya's husband, Bruce Clorfine, in Toronto, received the happy news at 5:30 in the morning through a satellite phone call from Rishi Raj Kadel, the expedition manager. For Shreya, this moment was the culmination of a lifetime dedicated to achieving this dream. She felt immense pride as she enjoyed the happiness radiating from her family, friends, and well-wishers, who all celebrated and offered their congratulations. However, a challenging twist awaited Shreya on her journey. Despite her determined spirit, she wasn't in top physical shape for such a demanding climb. Falling behind her fellow climbers, her health started to deteriorate, causing intense pain throughout her body. By the time she reached the south summit, she couldn't stand on her own, and confusion clouded her mind, making it hard for her to speak clearly or stay focused. The Sherpas rallied around her, providing unwavering support and guiding her through the treacherous terrain. After spending nearly 24 hours on the mountain and using up 9 bottles of oxygen, Shreya was utterly exhausted. The situation worsened as the weather turned against them. Cadell, who was with the team, described the worsening conditions: extreme cold, strong winds, and an ominous sense of danger surrounding them all. Shreya's declining physical state, combined with the unforgiving weather, created a perilous situation for every climber struggling on that treacherous descent. As the brave survivors made their way back to Camp 4, another group of climbers prepared for their own Everest challenge. Among them was John Kodrowski, a mountain climber and geography professor from Colorado. Learning from the crowded conditions, he delayed his ascent, hoping for better conditions. However, when he reached the glacier's slope, he witnessed a distressing sight: 8 to 10 climbers struggling to move an unconscious man through the snow. This alarming scene was just one of many that highlighted the mounting difficulties faced by those attempting to conquer Everest. Kodrowski's own journey was relatively quick, taking only 5.5 hours, and he used only 1 oxygen bottle to reach the south summit. His experience growing up in the Vale area gave him an advantage as he acclimated to the altitude. However, as he approached the final stretch, fierce winds threatened to blow him off the mountain. With great caution and wisdom, he made the tough decision to abandon his summit attempt. Looking back, his choice proved to be life-saving. In the world of mountaineering, bravery and determination are commendable qualities, but when life is at stake, prioritizing safety is crucial. On that fateful day, John Kodrowski, the geography professor, exemplified this, just as Shreya faced her tragic decision to continue despite overwhelming odds. Less than a week after the heart-wrenching events on Everest on May 25th, Leduc and Kudrowski, a government lawyer and another companion, prepared for a second expedition. Meanwhile, the body of the climber in the red Parker jacket remained near dangerous rock zones. As they carefully planned, Leduc noticed a Canadian flag draped over Shreya's lifeless body while browsing the internet at base camp. Coincidentally, on the same day as Shreya's passing, Tamai Watanabe, a 73-year-old Japanese climber, defied records, becoming the oldest woman to reach Everest's summit. In late May, a group of Sherpas discovered Shreya's body, and her husband Bruce traveled to Nepal to bring her remains home. In the midst of their grief, Bruce chose to keep a low profile and declined interviews, focusing on coping with his emotions. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more.